Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you guys are making more moves this offseason. Oh my God. So I didn't think it was gonna happen, Nate. I'm gonna be real, but it did, and I'm kind of upset about it. And I'll tell you why later. Shaq Barrett has signed a 4-year, $72 million extension to stay with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Let me tell you something, Nate, okay? I'm gonna tell you why I am upset with this, okay? Before I say why I'm upset,
I'm just as
the
upset
writer
as
for this
you.
article, what?
I'm just as upset as you.
The writer of this article is Nick Shook, a Around the NFL writer, and it was reported by Ian Rappaport, NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. We don't know who that is. Okay, let me tell you why I am upset with this, Nate. Okay, I wanted Shaq Barrett to be let go by the Tampa Bay Bucks, so the Vikings could pick him up. Okay, that's what I wanted. Okay, I am a big fan of Shaq Barrett. Okay, we went over a couple. We've talked about Shaq Barrett a few times on this show. I have told you how underrated this man is. How underrated this man is. Okay, I wanted Shaq Barrett more than anything. I did. That was the number one free agent I was looking at, Shaq Barrett. And now Tampa Bay just had to re-sign him, huh? They just had to re-sign him. They just had to do it. But I understand why they did it. You know, they obviously got to keep that Super Bowl team stay as much as possible. They obviously got to keep them. And there's obviously more guys. Antonio Brown, Rob Gronkowski are on that list. Leonard Fournette's on that list. Obviously, they got to be re-signed too, or they might have to let one go. Who knows? I really don't. But Shaq Barrett staying with the Buccaneers is that it was absolutely the right call for the Buccaneers, and the reason why is because they got to keep him on this team. Now he had a very very off year compared to his last year. 2019 he had 19 and a half sacks. This year he had 8, which isn't bad considering the fact that 8 sacks is an off year for Shaq Barrett. Tells you how good of a defender he is. You know, obviously, I think he's one of the best. I think personally, seeing him come off the line, I think he's one of the most scariest guys that come off that line. You know what I'm saying? Again, I do think he's underrated. I do think him and Levante are underrated. So the fact that they're staying together, I absolutely love that. You know, I absolutely love that for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense. I think we're going to see a very similar Tampa Bay Buccaneers team this year. Okay. Obviously, it's all going to depend if Antonio Brown comes back, Rob Gronkowski comes back, and if they do, what type of impact they're gonna have on that team on the offense. But as for defense, Nate, I don't see this defense going anywhere. I think this defense might be the number one defense in the league by next year. If they had that late stunt last year where they only held Patrick Mahomes to 9 points and they stopped the Green Bay Packers and they stopped the New Orleans Saints, I can't see why they can't be the number one defense this year. I can't. As long as they continue that production, as long as Todd Bowles is still the defensive corner, I can't see why they wouldn't have a good year. You know what I'm saying? I just can't see it. Um, Again, so with that being said, I wish Shaq Barrett the best of luck because honestly, there's not a lot for me to say here. Going back to the article mentions that he is. I'm gonna look it up right now. It places him outside the top 4 highest paid edge rushers. The top 4 highest paid edge rushers right now are Khalil Mack with 23.5 mil per year, Demarcus Lawrence with 21 mil a year, Frank Clark with 20.8 mil a year, and Von Miller with 19.083 million a year. And he lands in a tie with Detroit's Trey Flowers for fifth. So he's the top 5 highest paid edge rusher in the league. And I hope that people start realizing how good of a player this man is, you know, because when we talk about them, we talk about the Khalil Macks, we talk about the Aaron Donalds, we talk about the TJ Watts and the JJ Watts, and we talk about all these guys, right? But one guy we don't talk about is Shaq Barrett. And Shaq Barrett is absolutely an amazing edge rusher, without a doubt. So with that being said, I wish Shaq Barrett the best of luck. Congratulations to him on staying with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I wish the Buccaneers the best of luck. And I wish that the Buccaneers, since Nate wants to call out my team, I hope that the Buccaneers just smack them 2 times a year.
You know what? You know what? Man. Well, all right. First of all, let me just say congratulations to Shaq Barrett on staying with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's gonna torture my damn team, Mario. Like I was complaining about Drew Brees torturing my damn team for 2 games a year for 15 years, but this dude's got to do it for another 4 years. Absolutely torch my team over 20 points twice this year. I mean, like, dude, I have nightmares. I have nightmares. I'm sad because my team keeps on getting torched. I need help. But look, man, look, look. Well, all jokes aside, though, yeah, like I said before, the Buccaneers are doing anything and everything they can to keep the Super Bowl team, and that's something that they failed to do the first time around. You know, when they won their first ever Super Bowl, I think it was almost 20 years ago, something like that. I think it was like 18, 20 years ago, something like that. I can't necessarily remember, but when they won their first Super Bowl, their biggest mistake was that they didn't keep the team that won them that Super Bowl. But now they're looking back on that mistake, and a lot of people can say, "Oh yeah, you have the greatest quarterback of all time, so that's why you're doing it." Well, obviously that has a factor in it, and I'm pretty sure that that could be the biggest factor. But obviously, the other factor is you won the Super Bowl almost 20 years ago, and you failed to repeat that. Obviously, it's very, very difficult to go back to back. It really is, but they're going for it. It's not. It's difficult, but it's not impossible. And
Right.
they look back on their very first. They look back on their very first Super Bowl win, and that's something they could have done, and it's something that they didn't do. And ultimately, you know, I led the path for Tom Brady to win more Super Bowls with the Patriots, and the Colts won one in that time. But Drew Brees and the Saints did, and there were so many other teams that did it, and the Buccaneers could have been one of those teams that won multiple Super Bowls. But now they're up. But now they're doing that, and they're keeping this team in every way they can. Now, are they able to keep every single player? No. I mean, there's probably going to be a couple of players that leave because of you can only pay so many players. That's just the problem. And I've mentioned it before, and I won't get too much in it. The Buccaneers play in a very small sports market, so they're managing their money the best of their ability, and obviously not everybody's going to stay. So some couple of players are going to have to leave, but they have to make sure, excuse me, that most of the players that had an impact on the Super Bowl team stays, so they can compete. And honestly, I almost said Tampa Bay Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs need to start taking some notes. They really do, because if they want to be on top of the AFC, let me tell you something. The Buffalo Bills aren't messing around, man. Buffalo Bills aren't messing around in the AFC. I think they're the other top team in the AFC right now. So if you want to keep that Super Bowl team and keep Patrick Mahomes happy with his $500 million check, you better start taking some notes, because the Buccaneers aren't going anywhere. For as long as Tom Brady continues to play for the Buccaneers or is in the league, he's not going anywhere. It's as simple as that. So you need to start taking some notes. And I'm not just calling out the Chiefs, too. I'm calling out every team. I'm mainly calling out the Chiefs because they're getting rid of key players that they need to, keep that championship status. But with that being said, this isn't about the Chiefs. This is about Shaquil Barrett. And like you said, there's not a lot for me to say other than the fact that I'm going to be tortured this season with this damn defense. Put up damn 20 plus, 30, 40 plus points on my damn team, man. I'm going to be tortured. I gotta watch these games on live television and pour tears in a mug. This mug right here. It's got my tea in it. I gotta pour my damn tears in there because I'm being tortured. But look, but look, I do wish Shaquille Barrett the best of luck at Tampa Bay. I don't wish Tampa Bay too much luck, because they're my division rival. But nonetheless, I do wish him the best of luck regardless. So with that being said, congratulations to Shaq Barrett, and I'm excited to see him play.